Hey, good morning. It is Tuesday, October the 25th. It's time for Coffee with Woe. So, we've got a lot of things going on today, and I'm pretty excited about um, World Series starting tonight. I'm not invested in either team, although in my younger days I did watch the Cubs play some, and I think it'd be very neat to see them move on and do some good things and get that win that they haven't had in a very long time. I will not be the legion of bandwagon fans that, oh yeah, I've been a Cubs fan all my life, man. You're going to get a lot of those. And then you're going to get some genuine real fans that have suffered and toiled and dealt with a lot of fails. So I hope nothing but good things for the team and for those real fans that have seen a lot of really bad baseball to get to this point. Tonight is a scheduled stream night. 8:30 p.m. Central Time. I have not decided on a game of choice yet, but we will be there at twitch.tv/Wobringer, shameless plug, and look for us to kick off around 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Today's coffee is something new. Got from Amazon. There's a shock. If Amazon sold liquor and ammunition, I probably wouldn't shop anywhere else. But today's coffee is something new from Amazon, and it is a Martinson biodegradable cup Kona blend, medium roast, and kind of like that. And what I found that was so neat about the Martinsons is not only are they biodegradable, but they are a lot cheaper, substantially cheaper than a lot of the other offerings out there. Now, with that being said, the way to do this, if you have a Keurig and you're concerned about cost, is to definitely get one of those gold filter baskets and grind your own or use your own coffee in that reusable cup. But there's times when you just need a cup, and this Martinson stuff so far has been amazing. They've got 15, 20 different flavors. Some of them aren't coffee, some of them are that powdered drink mix, and I would ask that you steer clear of that because, it's nothing but sugar and artificial yuck, and you don't need to be drinking your calories first thing in the morning, in my opinion. So, but do look for the Martinson because it's been really good and about half the price so far of some of the other stuff out there. Also, later today, time allowing for it, we are planning on doing our first product demo video. We grabbed, for our friend Meowitzer, a USB SATA dock, or USB hard drive dock. It looks kind of like this. And she was asking for a recommendation, and so I kicked around some ideas, and here's what I've used in the past. And so I saw this one, and it's not a brand that I've used before, so I thought, well, hell, it's cheap enough, looks cool, I'll just grab it. And so we're actually going to do a little video on it, and the boilerplate unboxing thing, but then also some real meaningful work, right? So look for that later today. I'll post it on Twitter. As far as what I want to talk to you about today, it's that words mean things. And this may come off initially as uncomfortable or bad. I urge you to stick with it. By way of context, I'm not trying to don any type of armor here or anything, but I just want you to understand contextually where I'm at. I am the head of a mixed race and blended family household. And what do I mean? Well, my wife immigrated legally here, as in is not a criminal invader, is here legally from the country of Taiwan. And when she was in Taiwan, she had a relationship that conceived a child. So we have in my home, my wife, my stepdaughter from a previous relationship, and then we have my daughter that my wife and I conceived together. Now, not for nothing, you may hear me use the term stepdaughter, but the stepdaughter is mine. I'm the only dad she's ever known. So, we definitely have a melting pot over here. Okay, we're not dealing with a bunch of lily white supremacists over here, and I tend to like it that way. As a rule of thumb, I don't really run blood tests on people and figure out what their melanin count is before I can decide if we hang out or not, okay? It tends to be more of a is this a cool cat? Is his moral compass pointing in the right direction? Or is his moral compass so fucked up that he needs help to get to the bathroom on his own, can't find it, right? So that's kind of where we're at. And so I frame it this way. I had like many people in our fair burg, I've had, let me get the camera fixed. We've had some roofing contractors in the area. We've had roofing contractors in the area all summer and most of the spring because North Texas got pummeled by hail. And because we don't have a lien on our house or anything, I didn't have an insurance company screaming at me to get the roof fixed immediately. So I kind of waited till it wasn't the temperature of Venus out, which is a lot better for the guys working on the roof. And also, it makes it easier to negotiate with the roofing contractors, candidly, when they have 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks. Not only are you not likely to get their best deal, right, but at the same time, no matter how good your crews are, and no matter how much you love your clients, and no matter how good of a job you think your guys are doing, when folks are working in 100-plus degree heat for 50, 60 hours a week, they're not always 100% of the time going to get their best foot forward. So we waited until it started to cool off. We've had some roofing contractors by, and one of them, I decided to take on a little ride. And I wasn't really doing it to be mean. In fact, I was doing it because I actually liked the cat. And I thought, if I'm going to spend some money with this guy and get some work done on our biggest possession, let's find out who we're dealing with. So I'm talking to him about, what we want done and his method of procedure and mine. It turns out we're both kind of family guys that run family-based businesses and all this and that. So, okay, he's working me a little bit, and I'm working him a little bit, but I think we've got somebody of genuine good character here, so I drop it on him. Like I said, I'm taking this kid for a ride. So I drop it on him. The last guy did X, Y, and Z, and, I don't want a repeat of that. I don't want somebody that's just going to come by and ink the deal and then stick a bunch of Mexicans on my roof. And I picked my words very carefully there, so here's the part where we're going to get really creeped out. Don't turn this off. Trust me, we're going somewhere. So this guy, he says, well, I got to tell you, Mr. McAllister, we use Hispanic workers on the project. And he had this look on his face like he didn't want to be there. I don't think he was going to take a swing at me. But he had this look on his face like he didn't want to be there. And that I had suddenly grown a male appendage out of my forehead, or there was something horribly wrong with me. So I let him twist for a few seconds. I said, easy, it's okay. I was testing you. You passed the test, your stock just went up a couple points. Let me explain. I said, I picked my words very carefully there. Because someone who identifies as a foreign national, I happen to use the term Mexican because we're a border state and we have a illegal immigration. I don't even call it illegal immigration. We have a criminal invader problem here in this state. But I picked my words very carefully there. I said Mexican because somebody who identifies as a foreign national doesn't necessarily want to be part of the American experience. They're not here to become American and be part of the great melting pot. They are declaring allegiance to another country when they identify that way. So either consciously, they're just here to siphon off resources and go back to where they came from. Let's not even call them Mexicans. So it's Martians or Venusians or whatever. Doesn't matter. In this context, I use that word because I knew it would elicit a reaction from this guy. But when we have people that identify as foreign nationals, aren't interested in becoming part of the melting pot and are keeping their allegiance somewhere else, that's something that creates an issue, particularly when there is a disproportionate number of workers when it comes to construction and roofing that aren't legal to reside and work in the United States. And I wanted to elicit a reaction from this guy because I wanted to find out if he was using the proper trades, right? I'd rather pay a little bit more and not have somebody who's using criminal invaders as labor, because it hurts those people in a way, but it really hurts all the folks that are legitimately here and not gainfully employed or are gainfully employed and paying more in taxes and have schools with too many people in them. We'll go into it another time. But anyway, I took this kid for a ride and he passed the test. And we talked about how those words were picked carefully, and somebody with an allegiance to another country, and this and that, and that had he gone off on me and said, "Well, you're just a big racist," well, somebody who sees brown people and says Mexican is the racist, they have no way of knowing if that person is from Mexico or not. And that's the funny thing, right? Somebody, whips out that race card because that's the easy thing to do. It becomes plot armor, right? You can't be wounded if you dig that card out. So had he, I was telling him, had you, either gone off on me or tried to play it off and made the recognition, oh no, our Mexicans are this and that, I'd have kicked you out of here. You'd have walked. Had you gotten in my face about it and come back to me and on it and everything, I'd have walked you. But he didn't do that. Instead, he was uncomfortable, which is fine. Not everybody handles being tested the same way. But he answered it correctly. Or in a way, not that things are absolutes, but he answered it in a way that was measured and non-offensive, not talking about political correctness, got no time for that shit. But he answered in a way that was factual and accurate and measured, and that he really wanted to close the deal. And as, hey, we have workers that are Hispanics, but they're legal to be here. Cool. You passed, dude. So think about that. Where I was going with all of this stuff, and I know it's uncomfortable, but words mean things, right? Don't be that guy that sees people whose skin color is a couple tinges different than yours, or is clearly of Hispanic descent, and just label them Mexicans. It's awful on so many levels. Really, really is. I feel like people who do that are in point of fact racist because they, in their brain, can't process that either that person could very well be an American citizen, or B, Mexico is not their country of origin, and they're just assuming anybody who's tan happens to be from Mexico. That's jacked up. It's also jacked up to come to a place, work there illegally, take their money, siphon off their resources, and have allegiance to some other country. So, words mean things, kids, and our new roofing contractor passed the test, and he doesn't know yet, but he's going to have a lot of work from us, not only on this job, but on the next job, and the job after that, and the job after that, if he does a good job, because the sale is not closed until the next deal is made. And with that, we're going to take off. Hope we're done making everybody uncomfortable, but I had to share that because I thought it was a really, really good object lesson on words meaning things. We'll have a product demo video later today. I'm going to finish my coffee, and we'll look for y'all tomorrow on Coffee with Woe. Have a fantastic day.